Good morning.
We just woke up. Well, Jackson did. I didn't. But we're going to read chapter 7 today. It's called The Easter Bunny is Weird. Do you think the Easter Bunny's weird?
Yeah.
You do? I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Klutz who poked his head into the doorway. "Are you all having a good time?" he asked. "Yeah," shouted all the girls except for Alexia. "No," shouted all the boys and Alexia. "This looks like fun," said Mr. Klutz. "Did you ever dye Easter eggs, Mr. Klutz?" asked Ryan. "Hi, Ryan." "Sure I did," he replied. "I was a boy once, you know." "Only once?" I asked. "I'm a boy all the time." Everybody laughed, even though I didn't say anything funny. Mr. Klutz leaned down so that he could get a good look at our colored eggs. That's when I noticed something. Mr. Klutz's head looked just like an egg. "Hey, Mr. Klutz," I said, "can we dye your head?" Well, it was like I said a bad word or something. All the kids stopped talking. Mr. Klutz looked at me. Miss Hannah looked at me. Everybody was looking at me. I thought I heard crickets chirping. "I'll make a deal with you, AJ," Mr. Klutz told me. "I'll let you dye my head if you can recite the 8 times table." We were learning the 8 times table at school. I wasn't sure if I remembered the whole thing. 8 times 1 is 8, I said. Only because 1 8 can only be 8. Any dumbhead knows that. "Right," said Mr. Klutz. 8 times 2 is... So that's 8 plus 8, remember? 8 doubled. So that would be 16, I said. Because 8 plus 8 is 16. Yeah. 8 times 3 is 24, I said, adding another 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Andrea whispered in my ear. 32, I said. I kept going. Some of them I knew, and some of them I didn't. When I didn't know an answer, Andrea or Emily whispered it in my ear. Finally, I got to the end. And 8 times 10 is... 8 times 10. Should we count by tens? Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
80.
Good job. 80. "That's right," said Mr. Klutz. "Now you may dye my head." We couldn't dip Mr. Klutz's head into a cup because it was too big. Miss Hannah gave us Q-tips so we could dab the dye on Mr. Klutz. We had a great time dyeing his head red, white, blue, and green. When the dye was dry, Andrea drew a butterfly right in the middle. It looked cool. After Mr. Klutz left, he took a look at his dyed. After that, Mr. Klutz left, and he took his dyed head with him. It was cleanup time. While we cleaned up, Miss Hannah turned on a boombox, and the song "Here Comes Peter Cottontail" started playing. "Hey, guess who's coming, kids?" asked Miss Hannah. "Santa Claus?" I asked. "Santa comes at Christmas, dumbhead," said Andrea. "Oh, snap," said Ryan. I was going to say, "So is your face," to Andrea, but then you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years who walked in the door at that moment. It was a giant Easter bunny. He walked right into the door. "Ouch," the Easter bunny yelled. "Who put this door here? I can't see through this bunny head." That voice sounded familiar. I knew I'd heard that before. "Hey, the Easter bunny isn't supposed to talk," said Michael. "Oh, yeah, I forgot," said the Easter bunny. "And he's not supposed to talk loud either," said Andrea. "Sorry." A bunch of grown-ups crowded around the door and started taking pictures like they never saw a guy dressed up as a bunny before, right? The Easter bunny was carrying a basket. I got up to my tiptoes to see if there were any peeps in the basket, but the only thing in it was a bunch of fake green plastic grass. What's up with that stuff? "Do you have any peeps?" I asked. "Sorry, kid," said the Easter bunny. "I'm not allowed to talk." Then he hopped away. I thought the Easter Bunny was supposed to give us candy, said Neil, the nude kid. If I don't get some candy soon, I'm going to pass out, said Michael. They were right. It was Easter, and so far we didn't get any candy. No chocolate, no marshmallows, no Peeps, no nothing. All we did was roll eggs around on the grass and dye them. You know, said the gang, something tells me that guy is not the real Easter Bunny. What do you mean? Asked Ryan. He's probably a lunatic who kidnapped the real Easter Bunny, stole his costume, and tied him to the railroad tracks on the outskirts of town. I said, that stuff happens all the time, you know. Arlo, stop trying to scare Emily, said Andrea. I'm scared, said Emily. I thought Emily was going to start crying and run out of the room like she usually does. But as it turned out, we all went running out of the room. Everybody come inside, said Miss Bubbles. It's time for the big Easter egg hunt. You know what chapter 8's called? The Golden Egg. What do you think's going to be in the golden egg? Golden stuff. What do you guys think is going to be in the egg? Make a prediction and we'll find out in chapter 8. Bye.